Here's the normal agenda we follow in a 4-day class. And though you're doing this virtually, you probably still want to follow the knowledge areas and the sections in the same order that you're seeing on the agenda slide. So after you get through this introduction section we're doing now and get through the exam strategies, then you're going to roll up your sleeves and get down to the work of doing foundational concepts or project framework. This is a fairly long section. It's going to take probably more than 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get through all the videos in this section. I'm sure there will be 15 to 17 videos when it's all said and done to make up project framework. And all the videos will be 7 to 8 minutes, and we'll typically go through 2 or 3 videos and then have a short quiz, or what I'm calling a segment quiz, of about 4 questions. And then once you're through the entire section, then there's an end of unit test of 20 questions. Where you want to be scoring on the end of unit test is around 75%. So that's the good zone. That's the comfort zone. If you're scoring at 75% or better, then you're really retaining the materials and getting the key concepts that we're teaching here. And of course, on the other hand, if you're not scoring at 75%, if you're in the 60s or perhaps even lower, then that's a warning sign that something's not clicking. You need to go back, look at the segment quizzes again, see which ones of those you might have struggled with, and review that material, and perhaps review the videos that led up to the segment quiz. Hopefully, as you move through the materials, then you're going to start reaching 75% pretty consistently. So the next section that you would do after doing project framework is integration management. And like project framework, this is a long section again. So probably more than 2 hours, 2.5 hours of videos, of 15, 17, 18 videos, numerous segment quizzes, and end of unit test of 20 questions. And just keep following these knowledge areas and sections in this order. Once you get through everything, then there are some mock tests, some final mock tests of 50 questions each. And the questions on these mock tests cover all the materials in the class. So questions can come from any one of the knowledge areas or any of the other sections like earned value, network diagramming, and such. And again, our class here, our key goal is to get you ready for the PMP exam. We're not here to teach project management fundamentals. We're hoping you've got a good grounding in project management fundamentals coming into this. You really wouldn't meet PMI's requirements for the application if you didn't have that. So we're not starting at ground zero and teaching project management fundamentals. So this is all to get ready for the exam. Of course, we hope that at the end of all this training, you do feel that you learned some very useful things that will help you in the real world, though that's not our key goal. Again, today's test, as we said earlier, is based on version 6 of the PMBOK guide. That'll be true starting on March 26th. But the test has never been entirely based on the PMBOK guide. So that's never been the case. Probably 70% of the questions are coming from the PMBOK guide, but other questions come from a broader universe of literature, the PMBOK. What can that mean? What are you talking about? PMBOK guide versus PMBOK? What the heck? What's going on? So the PMBOK guide is not the PMBOK. PMBOK, of course, stands for Project Management Body of Knowledge, and that's the universe of literature that PMI thinks is relevant for project management. Therefore, questions on the exam can come from anywhere in this universe of literature. So where do I buy that book? Where's that book? Oh, it's not one book. It's not something you buy. It's all the books that they think are relevant, all the books on quality, all the books on risk, all the books on contracts, managing teams, building high-performing teams, and so on. It's also all of their magazine articles. So it would take months and months, maybe the better part of a year, to try to read all that type of material. So most of us were just going to break this down, make it more simple, go attend a class to teach us the essence of what we need to know. And we're setting our sights a little lower, a little more modestly. Maybe you're used to acing everything that you do. You've get A pluses in all the courses you do. For this test and for this course, really what we're trying to achieve is just a passing grade. Just give me that C plus, let me get by. That's our goal. Believe me, that is a quite an admirable achievement to reach that goal. And our third bullet here, this is all about the PMI view of project management. And it's not about your real world. So put your real world aside. Your real world, for the time being, doesn't count. Put on your PMI hat, your PMI blinders, and just focus on these materials. Don't try to translate this into your real world. As you're doing test questions, never ask yourself, well, how would we do it? How would we do it in our company? No, that's not relevant. So we're translating from the situational question into the PMI framework and the PMI process matrix and the PMI concepts and tools. So my job, again, many students, I think I said this earlier, but many students find the PMBOK to be incredibly dry, incredibly cryptic. It's my job to bring that to life. It's my job to be your interpreter of the PMBOK guide, to read in between the lines, to explain what the heck they really meant in certain places, to explain why they've included certain tools and techniques or certain inputs and such to make that make sense, and then to provide you a lot of good examples. So I'm going to be doing that. Hopefully I'm not just telling war stories, but I'm going to tell you stories, and I'm going to provide a lot of examples that hopefully bring this cryptic PMBOK guide to life. It's also essential, really essential, to do a lot of practice exams. And again, this is one of those strange different types of tests where there are multiple correct answers or multiple plausible answers, and it gets quite tricky. And if you're not used to doing that type of quiz, then you really need to come up to speed with that and kind of tune in the computer and get your algorithms, get your methodology together for how to go attack these type of multiple correct answer questions.